Is it true that young people are the real drivers of change? Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 14 of my impromptu speaking. In today's prompt, I'm going to discuss the role of young people in protecting the environment. What's the environment? The environment, in very simple terms, is comprised of the things we see around us, the naturally occurring features of our surroundings, and the man made things that make up our surroundings as well. How can young people contribute to protecting our environments, the things around us? And is it true that young people are in the best position to protect these things? Let's start with naturally occurring features of our environment. Over the years, we have been hearing things about climate change, global warming, and so on. Some natural features of our environment are getting eroded or eroded rather. Things are just changing, and some of these changes are not are not positive. They are not productive. They don't add any advantage to our society, and it is good that we actively work towards protecting our environment, towards preserving the things that make our environment beautiful and functional. I live in the tropical rainforest, and urbanization is taking over everywhere. So people are clearing forests and thick bushes. People are felling trees to build houses. Urbanization has caught up with everyone. How can young people, and what's the impact of these trees that people are, cutting down and so on? So deforestation exposes the soil to erosion. Deforestation takes away the habitat of some organisms like birds and other animals that we don't usually see in the daytime. So when you fell trees, when you clear bushes, you send these organisms into hiding. You force them to relocate and find new environments. And sometimes some of them are not fortunate to find good environments that they can survive in. So they die off, they stop reproducing, they stop multiplying, and before you know it, its whole species could be gone just because their natural habitat has been disrupted. Now, we cannot fight urbanization. We cannot stop people from building new houses. But maybe young people can advocate for more reservation areas. So we have the Yankari Game Reserve in Bauchi State. There's no game reserve in Akwa Ibom State. The only pieces of land that I see that are uncleared, that have thick bushes, are pieces of land that's dedicated to traditional or religious worship. So we have shrines and groves in such places. That's why they're not cleared. So it's not because people are proactive about protecting our environment. I believe that young people are in the best position to advocate for these things. Let there be portions of land dedicated for reservation. Nobody hunts in them. Nobody fells the trees in such pieces of land. They're just left there. They're allowed to grow and become thick. Maybe after like 50 years or thereabouts, the trees could be replaced. The older ones are cut off and new ones are planted. Also, new younger people that are buying homes should be encouraged to plant more trees, whether they're edible trees or uh, ornamental trees. That's okay. Just plant more trees. They purify the air, they release more oxygen into the environment so everybody has clean air to breathe. They also break wind, so the wind doesn't blow off your roof and send you packing. It is easier for young people to do this because they have the strength, they have the time, and they have the resources to effect all these changes. Even children, advocacy groups can be formed in school so that we catch them young. We catch school children young We teach them early on how to preserve the environment, how to actively work to protect the environment. We can also advocate for proper disposal of waste so that harmful substances are not carelessly thrown around our environment. So things like batteries, acids, metal waste, plastic waste, and so on, they shouldn't be casually thrown or disposed of or deposited uh, in just anywhere. It's rather unfortunate that where I currently live, there are no public receptacles. So wastes are just thrown about anyhow, and nobody seems to care. They Anytime you find a neat street, is because the people who live in that street have made arrangements for private bodies to take care of their waste. The government hasn't done enough in that direction. I hope that changes. Recently, my students in Year 10 were deliberating about environmental pollution littering in this town, and they lamented the eyesore that usually occasions a heavy downpour in this town. So after a heavy rainfall, you find out that the gutters are flooded, and the flooding sent plastic waste to the top. So the streets are always dirty after a heavy downpour. And nobody seems to care. It's an eyesore. We shouldn't coexist with dirt in our environment. That shouldn't be. So yes, I am glad that my students, who are about 13, 14, 15, are able to see these things. They know that this isn't right. I do hope that acknowledging this problem will push them to actually take steps, in fixing the problem, steps toward fixing the problem as well. And if the young people do not do not know immediately why they should work towards preserving the environment, they should be reminded that the older generations are passing away. The world is ours, so we'll still be here by God's grace in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. If we don't actively work towards protecting our environment, towards preserving our environment, I don't think this place will be habitable in years to come. So if we allow every topsoil to be washed away by erosion, how would we grow healthy crops that feed us? And eventually, this, minus the agricultural use of land, continuous flooding can also destabilize the topography, so that you need to sand fill a particular area before you can put on a structure, a building, a place of residence. So young people should actively advocate for actions, constitutions, policies that work towards protecting and preserving the environment, so that we too will leave a better environment for the generations coming after us. We don't want to destroy things for them. We are lamenting that our parents' generation spoiled things for us. How about us? What are we doing to actively ensure that coming generations enjoy the world? Fine, it is not perfect for us, and it will never get perfect, but we can do things that make the world better for the coming generations. So this is a clarion call to all young people. Do whatever little you can, say whatever little you can, encourage others around you to actively work towards preserving our environment, towards protecting the things we were born to see, protecting the things that make our environment livable. Thank you.